at the 5-cent, 10-cent table. Nice. Woo! Okay, this is my woo face. So my teeth are kind of hacked. If I brush them often enough, they should be pretty white. So that's not advantageous. Good luck me. Somebody has aces. They had to have aces besides kings, so they had to have had aces. This is a $5 knockout tournament. 214, 17 going to first, 3,000 average stack. Currently 50th out of 54 remaining. So it's only 3K starting stack, which kind of sucks. Because it's nice when they start with 5K because you get more play. But 3K is decent. It's better than 2K. Because ideally you want at least enough that if you have a big bad beat, you could survive right away. So you could lose, like, say, if you have 5K, you could lose 3K and still recover because the blinds are so low. You can build your way back up into it. So I try not to go all in usually at the beginning of a tournament unless I have like a really big hand. And may change in the future to curveball it, but yeah, I try not to go all in. But if I say in a 3K tournament, if I earn up to 3,500 and I have a guy, I'm facing a guy that has 2,700, then I'm willing to go all in. And even if I lose, that would leave me a few hundred anyways that I could recover to make it so I have to lose 2 hands in a row to get beat, basically, rather than just one big hand. So they have a hidden subliminal system, and I'm walking bare feet, so I'm not getting any of the metrics. Well, they're not getting any of the metrics. Somebody hacked me there. That's why I spoke in that tense, that saying it like I'm not getting any of the metrics, because that was a human violator that was kind of confirming that they weren't getting any metrics. They said I'm not getting any metrics. That's how they just pay attention to how when I speak in a different tense, then that's a moment when I've been hacked. So hopefully they gets a couple hundred players anyways in the tournament. Would be nice. And the bounties are pretty big for $5, $1.25. So you get 4 bounties, and then it pays for the tournament basically. Anything after that is gravy. But ideally you want to get your own bounty, because that means you won the tournament. And you got the second place tournament bounty. So he could have a lot. He might have way more, a bigger bounty than you.
And but if you beat him, you get his bounty plus your bounty. So it's awesome. I play lots of bounty tournaments, and they don't let me win the bounty tournaments too often. Like, I won a $10 tournament that wasn't a bounty last week, and so I was permitted to win that. But bounty tournaments are... I did have a pretty good go in a $30 tournament. I did get quite a few bounties, which was awesome. It was after I mentioned it, though, like a couple videos prior to it, how I was overdue for bounties, so it was nice that it came to fruition. See, when in a 5K tournament, making a $600 bluff bet, you could absorb the call easier than in a 3,000 tournament. That would have left me 2K, so I was obviously not hoping for a call there. $7.10. I almost jammed on the flop too. I wonder if he would have called, I would have lost it all. He would have rivered me. Sometimes I like to trap from early positions, and because people have position over you, so it gives you a great opportunity to trap. But you got to pick your spots, because traps, like I kind of trapped in there with the aces when I had that. When I had ace 5, if he didn't river, if he didn't hit the 10, he would probably would have called. Especially if it was lower than his 7. If the 6 came that didn't make a flush, he probably would have called the same bet if he didn't make the 10. So I did trap him, but it backfired. So you always got to be careful with traps. I try not to trap that often. I do, but I trap in the way I bet. I don't just check trap. Because it could backfire, so you got to be able to pull the parachute sometimes. Trying to get the electronic violators personal here, but I feel the same way about all of my electronic violators, even if I'm related to them. Excluded my daughter and son because they would be the biggest puppets. They have this evolutionary DNA gene, so they'd be restricted as well physically. But my closest family member they're also being leached off of because of our families. We got good genes, so they have parasites as well. But some of my family is more than likely complicit. They know who they are, and I'll find out one day. That's the beauty about being me. My entire life has been recorded. by different countries. So even if one country kind of gets rid of their data, other countries have data. When you have this evolutionary DNA, the whole world knows and is paying attention, basically. There's satellites that follow me, that keep track, and they're able to leech my attributes. So sometimes I try to crash the satellites into the atmosphere. Just had a phone call there. Sometimes betrayal is closest to the heart. But people were always going to try to cause problems for me. I guess I was probably 11. My sister was just diagnosed with diabetes, and there was probably some sort of there's going to be some sort of inquiry into that in the future. But the Prime Minister at the time, Brian Mulroney, he got off the bus, and I seen him that day, and at that moment I knew I could be the leader. Some people might be, they might go to a hockey game and see themselves being a hockey player or a baseball player, but at that moment it was like I knew I could be the Prime Minister. I had the skill set to be Prime Minister. And I would do it, but I just don't want the commitment of it. So I'm going to lead from the sidelines, because I'll be the world leader, so I'm not going to be... I'm invested in the world, not just one country. I plan on once my son and daughter that are alive right now, once they decide which countries they want to rule, will lead. And they have to rule the evil people, unfortunately, because evil people need to be ruled. They can't be led, because they'll always take advantage of you. So let's see what develops here. There's two people. If you're new to poker, fold in this scenario, because there's two people to act. So if they raise you, you're in a precarious position, right? So he raised, so I'm gonna fold. But I didn't believe this guy. But now that he called, I kind of believe him. But when I called, I was potentially going to play a pot against this guy, hoping these two guys folded, but they didn't. So if you're new to poker, like normally when I was newer, I would have folded in that scenario. But since I have more experience now, I'm hoping that I could see that guy, this guy folded. So that could have been me if this guy wasn't in the pot. I had a feeling I could make this guy fold, just how he bet. So sometimes it works out. There just happened to be two callers that time behind me, so it didn't work out. But I could have set myself up for basically manufacture a double in baseball. Could have manufactured a double there. I could have extracted some chips out of him, like what happened, and then made him fold on the next street. The best case scenario is you get them to call 3, pre-flop, flop, turn, fold, river. You extract the most out of them. You can't do it all the time. You have to set it up. It all depends on your table image. You have to adjust your table image. I'd be playing this different if I had more chips, but I'm pretty low. There's a scenario where I got a bet out of him and then a fold, which was great. Got me over 2K. So the goal right now is to try to get about 4K, 41.82. So that's average stack. So anything above 4K, as long as you're not the low in a bounty tournament, you don't want to be the lowest chip guy at the table, because then you can't get any bounties. So you're always trying to be play pots against people that you could get bounties from, and avoiding pots if you can with people that can bust you. But when you're the lowest stack, everybody can bust you, so you got to play pick your spots, and cause they could risk more. Like, if fortunately a guy doesn't have it here, but if the 22K guy was here, I only have 2K, so for every $1 I have, he has 11. So he could, it's much easier for him to make moves. Sitting outside in the mosquitoes, well, I guess it's that time of the year. It sucks because you get itchy, but hopefully they're not, I'm worried because I have this evolutionary DNA, so if this does happen, then just know that I warned about it. But I believe they're trying to develop some sort of weapon with mosquitoes in my blood to possibly kill off Generation 1 biology, just regular people. And so it's scary, because like, if it could kill my biology, the Generation 1 biology has no chance whatsoever. So it means extinction for mankind. So corporately now I'm trying to uninstall the artificial intelligence systems and dispatch the people with my mind exclusively that are trying to proliferate war technology against mankind. And I'm just the guy playing poker on his cell phone. So if they can't do this, if this technology isn't possible, then nobody should really be listening to me. But since people are listening to me, they're going to take that seriously. And I'm going to be declared king of the world. So I could walk into a courtroom as the little guy, but I come out the biggest guy on the planet. Okay, so here's the situation where I'm short stacked, so I'm gonna gamble. Hopefully the king high flush isn't out there. It's likely with this many people. It's likely the king's gonna come anyways, because I went all in now. But good luck me. No king. The king, well, he had the king, but it didn't come. Nice. I thought for sure somebody had 2 hearts. It looked like it was a multiple flush scenario, and the king would come and rain on my parade. So normally, like, if you're new to poker, in that scenario, when there's that many callers, when there's to the bet before you, with the queen high flush, it would be advantageous to jam in that scenario how I did, because but you have to expect to lose a certain percentage of the time. But by jamming, you're mitigating weak hands from calling and outdrawing you. You're getting the you're in ideally you're only getting the king of hearts to call you or the jack of hearts to call you, the 10 of hearts to call you in that scenario for that particular board. Because there was a potential, there could have been an open-ended straight flush draw as well. Somebody could have had the 7 and 9 of hearts. So they would have called, certainly. If not, they're going to be a losing player. Even though, if I was playing for big money, I think I'd fold, because usually I miss when I have an open-ended straight flush draw, because you have the 9 outs. You have the 9 outs for the flush, but I believe you only have 6 outs for the straight because 2 are mitigated from the flush. That's how I look at it anyways. But other people might look at it as you have the open-ended straight, which is 8 outs, so that would be 17 outs, and then potentially the 2 pairs, which would make it 23 outs, is how some people might look at it. But I would look at it as so I'll have to figure it out again, because they just hacked my brain. So how many outs? So the straight flush, I would do 9, 6 plus 6. So 21 outs. I would count it as 21 outs rather than the 23 outs that some people might count it as. I'll just see what it is right now. Oats. They're trying to skew my Google search. Ever since I've been using the microphone, I see it, and it never listens verbatim. They're like, how many oats?
According to 2+2 forums, with an open-end straight flush draw on the flop, you have 15 outs against an overpair. The probability of missing all your outs is 32.47 and 31.46 equals 46%.
So it's really a losing play then to call on the flop. Why is it 15? I think that's wrong. Why does it say 7 for a flush? And then 2 for the straight flush. Okay. So, well, they just made it confusing. So you still get 9 for the flush, and then 6 for the straight, but they didn't count the pairs, the 2 cards. So if you in that previous scenario, it would have been 7, 9 of hearts. So they didn't count the 7s or the 3 7s or the 3 10s in that scenario. So that would have made it 21. Because if nobody has a pair, then you win if you hit your 7, or you win if you hit your 10. So you have to count those as outs. I don't normally count them as outs because they're not normally winning outs, but they do win against high card. So you have to count them. But I would go based on the odds that they showed there, the 15 outs, because that's all you could be secure with. Really, like if you have an open-ended straight flush draw with the 7 and 10 of hearts in that scenario previously, the only way you're going to be confident with it is if you hit the jack. Because if you hit the 6, you have the low straight flush, so you could lose against somebody could have. No, I guess they couldn't, but you'd be all right in that scenario, so you'd win. So in that scenario, that'd be pretty much an awesome sleeper hand if you ended up hitting the 6, because people might put you on the jack. But the 6 would be the sleeper, because you'd want them to hit. You'd want one guy to hit the ace of hearts, have the ace out, a flush with the ace of hearts, and then a flush with the king of hearts. And I was in a hand like that where there was a straight flush, the king high flush and the ace high flush. I forget what I had. I think I had the ace. I either had the straight flush or the ace high flush. I don't remember exactly because it was play money. If it was real money, it would have been memorable. Because I've had about 20 straight flushes anyways. 4 royal flushes. 3 for real money. I'm pretty sure. And well, 3, I won all 4 obviously, but 3 I at least doubled up in, and 1 I tried trapping with a royal flush, and don't do it. I don't recommend it. It's such a rare hand that you want to get paid off. So I only made like $2. $2. There was $2 in the pot on the flop at on a 2-cent, 4-cent table, and made the flush on the turn. I trapped. He didn't bet. Made the royal flush on the river. I trapped. He didn't bet, and I made $2. So I got lucky, but at the same time, I really didn't get lucky. Because like I had a royal flush, but he probably didn't even have a high, like he probably had a high card. You get lucky when you get a royal flush and they have a straight flush or a 4 of a kind, a full house, straight, set, pocket aces, a big hand. When you get a royal flush, ideally you want them to have a monster hand as well. You don't want them to have high card. Because I played probably at least, they're telling me at least 800,000 real money hands. And I probably played a couple million play money hands. So I put in my reps. Whereas if at the casino, I would have spent maybe 50 years to get that much experience. Not even anywhere near that amount of experience. So I never, like, odds of getting a royal flush is at the casino is probably really slim. To put in enough reps where you play enough hands where you're kind of due for a royal flush. Yeah, so where I live in a rent-a-room basically to save rent, because save money on rent, because I don't really need a 1-bedroom anyways, so I save a few $100 a month renting a room. But one of my roommates stole my soap. Who steals soap? And the reason why they did it is the soap must not have been giving them the metrics that they needed to register me in the system. So, because why would somebody steal soap? It was a full bar of soap, and it's gone. They left an empty bottle of shampoo in there for like a month, but they take a full bar of soap. Pretty suspicious. And I believe it's because they secretly violate me if I use the soap that just happens to be in the shower, because they stole my bar of soap. So if that's the case, there's going to be rape charges and hijacking my body charges, and punishable by death. And the craziest thing about this technology is I'm able to register it on the cranium of their brain, right on the skull of their brain. So it doesn't matter what they do, the evidence is always on the skull of their brain. So there's a metadata trail and a paper trail that's, they could die, and even the cremated ashes is still able to pick up the criminal trail for future prosecution. For living, because there's going to be none of this stuff. People die and they're about to spill the beans, like Jeffrey Epstein, and then he had 1 million pages of information on these pedophiles, and they covertly killed him to silence him from spilling the beans. He would have unraveled the whole thing. There was two cameras that independently malfunctioned when he was under suicide watch. With technology, I'm going to prove that it can be hacked. And both guards just happened to be sleeping when he was on suicide watch. They claimed it was overtime hours and they were stressed and a bunch of bullshit. And if you're not competent to do your job, then you're easily replaced. There's going to be, every year they manufacture police and guards. There's lineups. You could have 100 people lining up to replace those people's jobs in a heartbeat. That's how replaceable they are. So there was the 2 cameras that malfunctioned, the guards that were sleeping, and a cellmate that coincidentally enough was moved, I believe something like 6 hours prior to the suicide. And the sitting president at the time, Donald Trump, said the Clintons had something to do with it. So the sitting president obviously knows what the technology's out there, and would have a good idea who did it. And Donald Trump said it on, I seen it anyways. He said it live on TV, or maybe not. It might not have been live when I seen it, but I seen him basically say that the Clintons had something to do with it. So there would be a metadata trail on their cranium, and they'd be liable for prosecution in the future. So in the future, just because you die that's not going to be the end of the trail. That's not going to allow these living pedophiles and rapists to continue to do what they do just because you were about to spill the beans and now they silenced you, so you can't say it on public record. Because it's always suspicious when somebody's whistleblowing and then they die. Every time a whistleblower dies, even if it appears to be disease, it's suspicious, because they could hack your DNA and find out what disease you're more susceptible to, and target that specifically. So it appears to be natural, causing death. A lot of murders appears to be natural, causing death. But it's basically it's a bunch of organized rapists and pedophiles that violate people, and they leech off them like parasites. They're like mosquitoes. I want to eradicate them. And the thing is, you can't put them in prison because our biology makes them they're able to prey on the innocent people of the world from prison. So the only way they can't prey on the living is to be dead. So any human hijacker in the future, the punishment is death, because they're playing people like a video game. They make them sometimes, they have sex through these people. So they'll the man and wife will have sex, and they could feel what the man feels, and some women could feel what the woman feels, sexually raping them, and they could taste what this person tastes. When I wipe my ass, people feel what it feels like when I wipe my ass. So I hate my electronic rapists. I want every one of them to die, right? But when I go to the washroom, Now I try not to even touch my penis. I just kind of just aim. And I'm pretty good at it because I don't want somebody to physically feel what my hand feels like when I touch my penis. And this is the world we live in. You could pretend you have private thoughts, but I'm trying to tell you otherwise. Like, go to www.change.org/technology and read the petition. There's lots of subliminal imagery, but you got nothing to worry about because I have this evolutionary biology and I'm needed. So they can't really do anything. You could stand behind me and fight for free will, because privacy of our bodies is our minds particularly is paramount. They're leeching off their fans, celebrities. Like, so we see these athletes and celebrities up on stage, and they're like parasites. So they're leeching their abilities from the fans. Like, so they're physically better athletes because they're like parasites. They're sucking the life out of their fans, literally, and killing them. And they're not even the best athletes on the planet. They're manufactured pedophiles athletes. They're basically human androids. There's some people playing them like video games, and their body gets all the credit. That's all. But at the same time, their body gets all the responsibility and consequence because they're in a position where they could stop this system, and they choose not to. So the bigger the star they are, the bigger they should fall. If they have statues and buildings named after them, they're going to be disgraced and taken down. Anything that cultivates pedophilia, bestiality, rape, necrophilia, murder, extortion, and then law can handle the rest. Law can handle the rest. Those are pretty much the crimes that I'm standing up against with my biology. What's this guy doing? I want to call, but let's see. So there's a raise, 2 callers, so I'm folding. Queen 10 is a terrible hand, but sometimes you get lucky with it. I would have called expecting to lose, but hoping to get lucky. Just because it's a bounty tournament. So watch the videos, because computer-assisted telepathy is possible, and I have proof on www.change.org/technology. There's proof on there. Several videos, and they're very, very compelling. And a few days after I started the petition, anonymous official, I don't know if you heard about them, they basically confirmed my theory in one of the videos on my petition. Coincidentally enough, they posted it maybe 3 days after I started my petition. Hopefully this guy calls. If he jams, I'm folding. No, I'm calling. Even though I'm hoping to be about a 30% favorite, 37% favorite. I'm hoping and getting lucky, because it leaves me 5 points, so I'm still good. 2 live cards, anyways. Nice. That's the only thing about he did wait until he had his ace king, but you sometimes get unlucky then, unfortunately. So that's awesome. I got a bounty, so now I could play cash and make it harder for the artificial intelligence system to figure me out. Because now I could bounce from one table to another. you got to pay attention, and you could, good thing about YouTube, you could always pause and rewind and everything. Okay, this is taking a little while for 2024. It's like the modem's dialing up here. Okay, so they're trying to register something here because it's on film. Why is it taking so long for such a simple screen to open? It wasn't even the game. It was, I mean, the table. It wasn't even the table. It was the first screen. Did they just move me tables? Nice. So this guy has 21K. So when somebody has lots of chips, they're either getting really lucky or they're a good player. So if you're new to poker, stay away from them. Even fold sometime pots. Even if you think, don't chase your outs. Just because they're running lucky that day usually, and unless they're a really good player, then they're gonna outplay you. So you wanna, if you're a new player, you wanna try to avoid them. The trickiest players at the pot at the table you want to avoid. He does the big stack jam. If he jams, I'm folding. It would suck, but nice. He didn't jam, so I have potentially 2 bounties good like me. $53. I'm losing. I won. Nice. Normally when I see red on the flop, red on the turn, I lose by the river. So I got 2 bounties. That was awesome. So I should be above average. So I'm half of the chip leaders. And I got twice average. So that's pretty good. I'm in the top 10. I'm at 9th out of 111 remaining. Good. There's 236 players. Hopefully there's about 500 altogether. That'd be nice. The more players they are, the bigger it is for my poker ego when I win. Like when I'll just pause it here. Yeah, I came first out of this was a $10 tournament. First out of 111 last week. Maybe a week and a half ago now. But I should be doing it all the time. The biggest streak they've let me go on kind of is I've won a $2 one day, then I won a $3 the very next day. I haven't been allowed to win at 2 tournaments in one day or place high in 2 tournaments in one day, like final table at 2 tournaments in one day, which is suspicious because I played for years, so I should have had a day where I've been on fire all day long, where it didn't matter what tournament I went into, it should have been gold, where the final table finish in at least 2 tournaments in one day easily. I used to there used to be this poker contest for Ontario, and you had to come first out of 350 players to get entered in the draw. And within 3-4 tries, every day I'd get into the draw that I tried. I'd come first out of 350 players within several tries anyways. I didn't spend much time doing it. I came first out of 8,000 in a play money tournament. Made me $32. It took 8 hours. I came first out of a real money tournament. The biggest one is 1,500 with for $1 tournament. And the biggest one that I won online for real money is the $10 tournament. In person, Toronto had a poker room, and the very first time I played in the tournament there, I won. After not playing poker for like 8 years, or a period of years anyways, maybe home games occasionally, but not online poker for years. I used to stop getting invited to home games pretty quick. Usually after the second time I went. I did play this one home game, and the guy, I forget what happened, but he ended up giving me $10 online on this one, it's now defunct website, but this one poker website anyways. And I turned, the first day I played, I won a $2 tournament, and I won something like $275 right away. And then within a month, I turned the $10 into $1,000. And then I went to cash out, and they made me jump through a whole bunch of hoops, saying I didn't play enough hands and all this bull crap. And then the site, so once you go to cash out on a website, on a poker website, your luck turns for the worse. There was this real money website earlier in my series here that I was playing on, and I cashed out after 8,000 hands, $100 just to see if it was a legitimate website. And because they would give you real money every day, they said, but until you cash out, it's play money, right? So I cashed out, and my winning percentage was 32%. And this is 5-handed normally, so the odds of winning is 1 in 5, so that's 20%. So I was 12% above luck. My skill was 12% above luck. And then I cashed out. Then over the next 20,000 hands, instead of me getting better, which I did every session, I got better as a player. You can see it in my videos. And my winning percentage went down to 27.5%. Instead of up to, say, 34%. I should have been kept on climbing up slightly over with more experience, rather than climbing down slowly with more experience. And the reason why I did that is artificial intelligence. The more I play on a site, the better their individual artificial intelligence gets. I don't believe they share the proprietary information between companies, because any poker website, I could download an app from the Play Store, and any one I choose, and for the first month, I'm gonna dominate it. I'm gonna dominate it every time, and then after about a month, I start getting unlucky. For the first month, it seems to, for me anyway, so it's probably like that for everybody. For the first month, your ace kings are hitting, your aces are paying off big, you're getting genuine luck. And then after that, it seems like it's rigged for failure, basically. So all I could do is try to outsmart the artificial intelligence system and play differently than how I previously played hands, to make it harder for them to figure out. Who knows, does he have 5-6? Because that river looks pretty innocent, and it usually, when it looks innocent on the river, usually it stings you. So I'm going to take my chances anyways. Yeah, one thing I wish the Ontario government would change is making it so we could play poker against the world, because it's so boring playing against just Ontario. It'd be like Michigan playing against Michigan rather than all of the United States. Like, you want to play, how do you expect in the States scenario, how do you expect your American players to compare against the world if you don't legalize poker, first of all? And if you only legalize it in certain states, you're kind of weakening the potential talent pool. What a nice... This is usually a terrible river as well. It could possibly make both of our hands. So the same thing with Canada, right? Like, by me only competing against people in Ontario, I'm not going to get as good as if I competed against the world all the time. And it's kind of not advantageous for Ontario, because what am I going to do with $200 when I won $200 in a $10 tournament? I'm not even going to cash that out and spend that in the Ontario economy. Whereas if I cash out, if I win thousands of dollars, I'm going to cash out, and then I'm going to be spending that money in the Ontario economy. I'm going to be buying TVs, or I'd probably buy a brand new video game system. I buy 2 of them. Buy one for my son and one for me. Video game, new entertainment system. But I'd be spending money in the economy. But with these tournaments, they're so small, the prizes, that I never really plan on cashing out. It's just getting experience. So when I do play in the World Series of Poker and these big poker tournaments, I'm seasoned, where I've played many multi-table like tournaments with thousands of players, and so understand, even though the money is not the same, so I would have a learning curve for the money pressure, but understanding the psychology of like, when you know how to win a tournament with 8,000 players, even though it's play money, I already understand the psychology of doing it, because I had to overcome. When you win a tournament with 8,000 players, you grow as a player during that tournament. You have to evolve as a player, because you're getting into the deep end. You're doing new situations. Like, there's times when I forget now, it's been so long, but there's probably times that I doubt I was coast to coast. I probably wasn't leading it the whole tournament. So I would have, would have been times I would have been short stack, and I would have had to grind back and fight back. I did take 45 minutes off. So I built up enough of a lead that I was able to do some errands. And then, so I came back, and I was decimated, and I fought back. And then, when I was heads up, the guy told me he was a teacher. And I think it was in the summer, so he didn't have to work. But I just figured he wasn't as committed. So at that point, I had a psychological edge over him. If he would have said he was a professional poker player, wanted to, then I would have treated him with more respect. But I ended up winning. I forget this exact scenario now. It's 15 years ago. I watched Rounders, so probably after Rounders came out, when poker became popular. We need the states to legalize it and tax each hand. Like, if I was an American citizen, I would want poker to be legal, so I wouldn't mind paying that tax each hand, so the casino would get a little bit of the pot, and the government gets their share to keep it legal, basically, because the government always has to get a piece of the pie too. for business to survive. So if $100 pot, like whatever the casino would get, they would take their chunk, and then a little bit would be taken off for the government. So then at the end of the year, if you're a losing player at the end of the year, you could be like, hey, I paid this much, paid this much in taxes for poker. So then you pay less income tax basically. But then the flip side of the coin is, if you're a winning player, you now have already contributed your income taxes for the year, so you don't get screwed over by the government at the end of the year. So it kind of covers you, protects you basically, and it makes it legal, so the government's making money, and it's a cognitive pursuit where skill beats luck in the long run every time. Every time. I'm getting pretty good because I try not to risk it all. That's my poker philosophy, is to try not to risk it all. When I go all in, it's strategic. I'm trying to develop it. Like, that's probably my Achilles heel, is I'm not as creative with that all in as I should be for my skill level, because I think it's overused, and I punish people that go all in all the time. All the time. I like in this tournament, if I don't get busted, I have a good chip lead, so I'm gonna punish people that go all in, and so I try not to go all in unless I have to, unless the situation calls for it. Why does it keep making me sit out? It doesn't want me to play here. It keeps making me sit out, and I have that on film too. How many times did I have to click on back on the cash table only? See, again, I'm back. It's to get me frustrated, so I leave playing. So I leave the table. Yeah, who wants to do that every single time? It slows down the rhythm of my play. Instead of me being able to use timing tells how long it takes for them to bet or call, I'm now denied that information. So it's how they rip me off. It's one of the ways they rip me off. It's the only psychology you have in online poker. How much they bet, how long they bet, how frequently they bet. And there are 2 other tools that I have for my book. So what are the other 2 tools? So how much they bet, how frequently they bet, how long it takes them to bet, and what else? Like, there's two that I know. So how long they bet, how much they bet, how frequently they bet. Well, I guess it would be how likely they are to fold to a bet, and how likely they are to raise to a bet or call in all in. So kind of 6 psychological tools that you have against an online player. Whereas at the casino, you would have those 6 tools plus what they say in their body language. Like, I love it. Every once in a while, one guy thinks he has me dialed in and how he's playing me. So he tries to tell the table, and it's like, you fool. Why would you tell the table and not keep that information to yourself? Because now I know how to defend myself.
So I love it. And that happened at the casino too. Like it was, this guy, he was kind of an older gentleman. It was like one of the first times I was at the casino. And when he had a good hand, he had some shaky hands. So every time he had a good hand, his nerves would start shaking, and because he must have been a new player, so his adrenaline was going. But somebody at the table mentioned it to him, and I now know that the guy listened to my thoughts, because the guy that mentioned it, I went to the casino with him, and he wasn't the most perceptive individual. Like, he was, they used to always cheat, and I still beat them. So, he's not the most perceptive individual. Anyways. Even at Risk, we'd play Risk, and they would cheat, and I'd still win. At poker, he'd play so bad that I'd punish him. But he was one of those condescending people. He was smart enough to be condescending, but he was one of those people that was very condescending and just a weasel. He ended up having to leave town because people probably wanted to kill him. He always owed people money. He was a drug dealer that couldn't make money. So he's not that perceptive. Couldn't even buy a flat screen TV. He had a 1992 computer. The last time I seen him. Well, that was a terrible river card for the action. Because I'm likely beat, so I'm going to fold. I should have made my move on the turn, because I think he rivered me. I would have called for the camera, but I'm the last 10 times I called for the camera, I was right that I was beat, I think 8 times. So it's not a profitable decision. But sometimes I have to call for the camera because I'm trying to get sponsorships and endorsements. So if I could put somebody on 2 cards, then that should demonstrate my skill, basically. Hopefully this guy raises. I want to play in a big pot, not these small pots. But this is frustrating that I have to keep on clicking it back. Well, I'm going to go for the gut shot. It leaves me 11K and I get a bounty potentially. And he could be bluffing. But what does he have? Ace 5. If he had any more than that, I wouldn't have, but I had enough that I could speculate. Okay, this is frustrating here. This is connected. Only on the cash table. So PokerStars, once I upload this video, is going to have some explaining to do why
why it's only on the cash table. Taking the momentum out of the game is to frustrate me, so I could stop playing, and because the artificial intelligence system can't, and cheats, they can't jump from table to table, or at least they shouldn't be. A player I'm playing, this guy, I shouldn't be playing him secretly at the other table as well. Only cowards would do that. It's a game of skill. If you want to make money, cheat the stock market. That's how you make money. A game of skill. Don't say you're the best in the world if you cheat. I guess most of them never say they're the best in the world, because it's not humble enough. And who wants to think that? Well, every poker player secretly thinks they're the best in the world. Just like every person thinks they're secretly the best lover in the world. Or the best driver. At least most people do anyways. At least I do. Even though I know I'm not the best driver in the world. But I know I'm one of the best. Because in a Forza game I was ranked, I forget how high in the world I was. Almost enough where it would have warranted professional sponsorship anyways. And that was before I knew how to, I could consciously make myself get tunnel vision and slow down time. So it would make me a phenomenal baseball player, because I have time to react. Not so much a goalie. I have really, really fast reflexes. But a goalie, if he was to take shots, just standing at any spot on the ice taking shots, I would be able to slow down time and stop them more often than not. But when I have to react, like if it's deflecting out of the air, reacting, I would have to rely on my reflexes. I wouldn't be able to consciously slow down time at that point, because I'd be distracting myself. So some of the stuff I could do, but you can't really do it in a game scenario sometimes. But with pitching or batting, well, particularly batting, I would be able to, as soon as the ball was released, I'd be able to slow down time, get tunnel vision, and then know my skill set. I'd be a student of the game, so I would know the pitcher's strengths and weaknesses, how they like to work the count, how they like to pitch inside, outside, and I position my feet and my hands accordingly, and dominate once I got experience. It would take, like, at first I wouldn't be doing that great, but once I got 10,000 hours in, like, I'd be pretty good. Like, I just learned how to skate, and accuracy wise, I was hitting scuff marks on the boards. I was within a couple inches of the scuff marks of the boards shooting, and this was only after maybe 3 weeks of playing hockey experience. So I figured out how to aim accurately. Like, I would be a sniper in hockey. I wouldn't be, I'm not naturally the best skater. Like, I was hacked lost, but I'm not a natural skater. It's not, like, my balance is too good. So it makes, my reflexes are too good and my balance is too good. So for balance sports, I sometimes react faster than the board or the skates allow me to recover. Basically, my reflexes are a little bit too fast, and I just not enough experience. Basically, I've never really I went skiing once, and within the first or second time going down the small hill, I was confident enough to go down the biggest hill that they had. Like, within the first half hour, I was dominating the hill. I was going too slow. So I went up to the big hill, and then at the very first drop, next thing you know, I was going faster than I wanted to. So I didn't know how to wipe out properly. So I kind of just relaxed, and the ski came up and kicked me, in the side of my face, and I got a nasty scar because of it. But there was these two guys, and so I seen them, and I'm like, hey, how does it look? And the one guy's like, not bad, right? But his face, it looked like he smelled horse shit. So he had this look on his face, and the other guy's like, don't lie to the guy. Because I could feel blood dripping down my neck, so I knew it was bad. And so I proceeded to wipe out about 30 more times going down the hill. And at this point, I'll show you what I look like. So this is how I look like. So I looked like a model, and then all of a sudden I had this atrocious scar on my face, I thought, at that point in time. So I was pretty sensitive. I think I might even have cried. It was funny now in hindsight. I clicked fold. I don't know why it did that. The table's annoying. Yeah, PokerStars is gonna have some explaining to do. If they always have to fix the app, which is suspicious. If they don't want me to play, restrict my account, then they'll lose money eventually. Because somebody's gonna take my money and my time. They want my time on this app. They love me spending time playing their app. It's a frustrating experience, but I can't allow it to piss me off. Because then it defeats you. Things that piss you off, you gotta not allow it to piss you off. You can't be defeated by it. Unless you secretly, if you secretly watch and stalk me, I want to piss you off all the time. I want to piss you off to no end. I wish death upon you. Anybody who's ever violated my kids, I wish death upon them, regardless of who they are. And these delusional people, they think since they've raped me my entire life, they think I have feelings for them. Okay, so let's back to this. Well, I guess it kind of works out for me now that I have to do the I'm back. It's skewing the artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence's results from how I play cash games anyway. So that's the only positive spin that I have for it. Because it knows basically how I play. Because it's able to watch me every time. Whereas players shouldn't be watching me every time. Be pretty suspicious if you see, I don't watch any, unless the odd YouTube clip I watch. But it'd be pretty suspicious if you see professional poker players playing my strategy. If you notice something new that I'm doing and I didn't learn it from them, they learned it from me. Nice bet. Jack 8. It's pretty non-eventful, this $5 tournament so far. How many minutes? 3 KOs, that's not bad. 41 to first. Okay, so we're past late registration. $88.46 to first, pardon me. 41st place is the first prize, it looks like. So we're in the money. 41st place. Once again, somebody hacked me to say we're in the money. I would have said I'm in the money. They think they get credit for what my biology does. But they just ride my coattail. They hinder me to suck, so they make it so I suck. So how do they get credit when I outperform the technology designed to make me suck? They're delusional. People believe they're me. Imagine believing you're somebody else, another human being. Imagine being that delusional. clearly when they look in the mirror, they must not see themselves. Potential royal flush, full house, 4 of a kind. And I'm just going to check it down. Here we go. How's this hand looking? Oh, why did I fold? I tried clicking on back. That's how the program gets you. Tried clicking on back and it made me fold. Ripped me off as if I would have folded the nut flush draw there. And I have proof that they ripped me off. It's not like I'm deleting this video. I'm posting it as soon as I'm done. Make every hand I have to click on back and then it jumps to I fold right away. It was 19 cents. I could see if it was several bucks his bet. 19 cents, as if I wouldn't have called. That pisses me off. Because in my mind, I should have made at least 10 bucks by now. They're slowing down my rhythm, my way of playing. With this 2-cent bet. 10-6, nice bet. Nice hand. Okay, so that guy is all in. 62 cents, guys. So I'm calling. Hopefully this guy doesn't jam. Nice bet. I was kind of trying to play. I was playing for the side pot there. 7. Had to take a chance here. It's near the money bubble, eh? So how many people left? 41. So I'm 41st. So next person, shortest stack. So I'm not the shortest stack, anyways. But I basically need to get lucky soon. But I needed to win that bluff. So that was kind of the turning point of the tournament. Possibly. That's the good thing about poker, a chip in a chair. 81 cents, okay, I'll fold. Don't jam. Ace is nice. Nice hand. Pocket deuces. I was hoping I could improve on the river. I didn't think he had hit anything there. Good luck me. He's calling. No, he didn't call. The big stack didn't call. Good luck me. Nice. Almost got a bounty and doubled up. That was pretty much the best case scenario. Other than getting 2 bounties there. That was awesome. Now I got 10 big blinds, so if you're in a poker tournament, all you really need to do is win one pot, and ideally a second pot shortly there afterwards. Because any pot, the blinds are so big now. Like, look at the pot's already 3K. So if I win that, then pre-flop, I'd be up to 9K. So you could bounce back pretty easy in tournaments but it's that critical first hand you need to win. And then the second one. If you can win 2-3 hands, see, out of the next 10 to 12 when you're decimated, then you have a chance to bounce back in the tournament no matter what. Because the blinds get so big. I'm gonna bounty. I think I got rivered. Oh. Nice. Got a bounty, sweet. But most people would have folded their 9 deuce, but I'm confident in my game that I could bounce back. So now since this is the best hand I have, it's probably going to be the loser. So I'm going to try to win it pre-flop. So he probably has ace king. Nice. Jam, jam. Jam, nice. Now I'm gonna get unlucky. Let's see. What does this guy do? Jacks. Oh, I got the straight. Nice, nice. I thought for sure I'm done. Nice, and I got a bounty. It's not too often I come from behind, so that's awesome that he did. And such from so far behind. Set of jacks. So I was decimated, and now I'm currently 17th out of 33 with 6 KOs. That's how fast it could change in poker. Okay, so this table is annoying me. So this will be the last hand I play here, because now I could go up in stakes. So if I'm gonna have good luck, I might as well be playing at a higher stake table. Nice. So how much do I have? 12 bucks? Not bad. I put on 10 bucks earlier today, so I'm in the profit, which is good. Still taking so long, way longer than normal, because they're trying to register me, because I can't dominate too much in the system, even though in the system they have to fool the system that I won the lottery many times because of how much I've helped mankind. The nanotechnology eye cameras that I believe I have against my will, I conceived a way that the blind could see with this technology. Basically, the nanotechnology eye cameras, or contact lens eye cameras, have Bluetooth that communicates with the optical nerve and anything required for vision in the brain. Bluetooth nanotechnology, and then it projects to the mind's eye, so making the blind being able to see. And Do you think I got any traction on social media with that? Zero. I emailed the Canadian National Institute for the Blind, and they didn't even send me an email back. Posted it on social media and didn't even get a like. I'm not blind. It doesn't help me. And I posted it free. If I wanted to make any money off it, I would have kept the idea to myself and try to market the idea. All I would be is thank you, Chris MeyerDiggins, for the idea. That I conceived the idea. That's all I would want. Here we go. So there's a pretty cool video to watch. It's called 3 Ways to Save Civilization by Chris MeyerDiggins, ChrisMeyerDiggins. And 3 viable ways to save civilization. And I think I got like maybe 10 views. I won't do a spoiler alert in this, but has to do with satellites and current technology. I was worried about the full house. That's why I didn't raise. Good thing I won on this table. What did I win? So I won 6K, not bad. Yeah, most people would have jammed all in with the nut flush, but I'm so used to losing to the full house in that scenario that I play it more cautiously most of the time. That time my read was right. He's 10. That was always the possibility. That was kind of a brutal sequence. So basically I lost the flip with 9s versus ace 10. If he, typically if he had queens or jacks, they would have folded to a jam there, because usually when the guy jams, especially me, I have at least the ace. At least ace. It's probably a set, 2 pair, or ace, good kicker, flush draw, open-ended straight draw with the ace, or whatever the scenario is. It isn't usually just the ace. That being said, unless I'm in a rhythm, and if I'm in a rhythm, it could be 7 deuce. At that the cash table, he played his how much would this just leave me. This leaves me 17K. I'm gonna bounty hunt. Nice. I get lots of bounties because when permitted to, because I'm willing to risk a bounty hunt with my profit. It left me 17K, so that was probably around the average stack, less than average, but close enough to average stack that I could justify the call, even though Queen, I was prepared to lose without the Queen Jack. I was hoping to be about a 45% favorite or so. Underdog, I guess it would be. You would never be a favorite when you're 45%, unless there's more than 2 players. So I must have got another bounty so I could sit back down at the table. So $6 in bounties. Leave there. Play. I like to play at the biggest stack table possible because you get more experience against higher caliber players. I just got hacked there. You can see it. Oh no, this is brutal. It's not too bad actually. It's, if he plays, I think he'll probably sit out after. Either I'm going to double up pretty quick, or he's going to sit out, or he's going to take my money pretty quick. It's going to happen fast. I did play a pretty epic play money battle today. It took about an hour and a half. Play money tournament, not tournament. They hacked my brain to see tournament because there was multiple players, more than likely, that I competed against. But it was one player. I busted him within 10 minutes, but then he fought valiantly for an hour and a half, and then he quit. I was kind of glad that he quit because it was play money. And okay, does he have the ace? That was a nice bet. You pretty much had to call there because could have made the same move with the jack. I don't mind playing heads up when the tournament's on break, but once the tournament's on off break, I want to hopefully more players join. Because when you play heads up, you have to play every hand, or almost every hand. You got to make the critical folds when, like he did there. If I would have had pocket aces, you got to make those folds. Now somebody else joined. Okay, there's more players. That's good. So what am I in this? 5th out of 32 remaining. So 258 entries. That's not bad. But still, you're playing for the bounties. I got 7 bounties. So right now, if I got knocked out, I only win $3.79. So in a bounty tournament, you don't really start making good money until you're about 5th place or higher. Then you make decent, you get good bang for your buck, because by that point you should have lots of bounties. Some people in bounty tournaments, this is solid advice. In bounty tournaments, if you encounter somebody in the tournament that has very little bounties or no bounties, you could pressure them to go in all in more often. They're likely to fold because they're risk adverse, And when they do go all in, chances are they have it. They've been, especially, you can't really tell in the middle of the tournament, but deep in the tournament when there's about 40 players left and there's hundreds of players, and you see somebody that is that exact scenario where they don't have, the bounty would be $1.25. So if they only have $1.25 showing, and nice bet. I'm gonna call just to see though. So if they, I'm just gonna fold here. Let's just do 1 minute. So if they only have $1.25, then usually they're short stacked. They're usually not. They usually don't have lots of chips. So you could if you have lots of chips, and you could risk it every pot, put them all in if you can, because even they have to pull the trigger. Like, is he bluffing this time or not? Against me, knowing that I'm gonna put them all in, I'll probably never do it now, or almost never do it. It's gonna be a counter tell now for me. So whatever I say on film, I have to mainly do opposite. I gotta switch it up. So it can't always be opposite, but it's not always going to be how I say on film, because that would be a hole in my game. That's why it's always usually likely or most likely. There's not too often do I say, certainly this is how you do it, unless you have the nuts. That's the only time you can be certain in poker, is when you have the nuts and you can't lose by any two cards. They're drawn dead. At that point, it's trying to extract as many chips from them skillfully as possible. Like, that's the art form of poker. But you can't only do it when you have the nuts. That's the thing, because then you get too predictable. Because you only have the nuts maybe once out of 40 hands or whatever. So you become way too predictable, because good players see it coming. Because if all of a sudden, because typically when, especially novice players, they play their strong hands, their very strong hands, differently than when they play their average hands. So you could pick that up really quickly. Like they might be betting 200, and then all of a sudden they're betting 1,500. It's like, hey, red flag. A red flag should go up immediately when they change their betting pattern. And then proceed with caution. So depending on your hand, the strength of your hand, if and how frequently they play, you might want to fold. Even if you have, say, ace jack or something like that, it's probably a good time to fold your ace jack, because you're probably running into ace king, ace queen, aces, kings, queens, jacks. So it's probably a good time to fold at that point. I think the real future in poker is at the casino when we play, like, for the World Series of Poker. I don't want to be stacking all the chips every hand. I'm so pampered by online play that I don't want to spend 5 minutes stacking my chips every win. Especially, oh, that's brutal. Oh, I might get lucky. Nice. The king. No king. Sweet. So I see in the future, like, it's speed up the tournament so much if it's digital, and then there could be bounties, and then people could get paid to their account, and then they could buy stuff on break. They could spend their money basically, because ideally Because I don't like the idea of spending 5 days before I'm even in the money making money at poker. When in a bounty tournament, you could be making money within an hour. You could be profitable in an hour, and then the rest is gravy. So I love bounty tournaments. But and it's better because everybody makes more money. But the first place prize isn't as big. But what's this guy doing? Okay, this guy has a lot of chips. If he was short stacked, I would call. Actually, I'm gonna call. I got enough chips. I could speculate 3K, no problem. But I don't have position, so if this guy jams, then I just wasted 3K basically. Nice bet. Nice bet. I tried manhandle him there, but didn't work. So when I make that play, usually I have it when I make that play. And I'm hoping he goes over the top all in and I bust him. Because sometimes it's better to get them to bust themselves, get them to go all in when they're drawn dead, than for you to bet, because they might not call. Nice call. Deuces. Okay, so I must have won pre-flop with the ace king. Yeah, I won 2,600 chips. Then with the eights, what's happening with the eights? I probably lost. He jammed a lot. Went all in, so I'm going to lose, most likely. That's 2 flips I lost so far on PokerStars today. I'm going to have my hand history to recall, but I guarantee you there's very few days that I've had a winning day where I win flips on PokerStars. Guaranteed. I could if I had $100 billion, I'd bet $75 billion guaranteed. I'd risk $75 billion just like that. I know 100%. I'm 100% certain. But I'm so conservative that I wouldn't risk the whole 100 billion. But I'm 100% certain my hand history, I lose way more flips than what I win. And I usually go all in with pairs. So I'm slightly the favorite. I'm not usually the 47% in the flip. I'm usually the 53% in the flip, and I still lose more often than not. And my hand history will reflect this. I've played millions of hands. I would have to get lucky in flips for 3 years for it to balance out. It's the only way they know they could beat me. And why would you want the best player possibly in the world to, because they're telling me that I'm the best player. I think I'm still a pro and I have to grow. But they tell me that how much money they spend to make me, to cheat me. So I know I'm the best player on the planet. No, I'm the best player on the planet. So why wouldn't you want to see the best player on the planet play at the highest levels? Why would you want to cheat them and sacrifice, because you suck, if you want to cheat somebody that's better than you and stop them from achieving greatness because you suck as an individual? Basically, in my opinion. I'd want to see the best talent out on the field, not the most modified cheats out on the field. All you have to do is watch, it's going to be the video before this, but all you have to do is watch this heads-up battle, and everything I say in a video, it's likely to change right afterwards, after that point in time. So all you have to do is watch a video beginning to end, any one of my videos that I make on poker, or any video I make. Watch how, after I mention something on film, watch how it changes. Like, so if I say I never go all in a scenario, the artificial intelligence system will engineer it so I go all in that exact scenario. So I predict almost what happens. So all you have to do is watch. It's about an hour and a half long, a heads-up battle, but it was a pretty good battle. I didn't really. You'll have to watch it, but I was pretty confident in it. Like, I'm pretty confident in this tournament. I think I'm gonna win this tournament unless I get unlucky. Because so far it's been easy. Now that I said that, I just felt the transfer, because I can't get too confident. They don't like guys calling their shots, but I love it when people call their shots. When they say they're gonna do something and they do it, the more, and when they don't cheat. If they cheat, it's manufactured. But when Babe Ruth pointed to out of the field and he hit a home run where he pointed, he called his shots. So that's impressive. When people could point and call their shots and perform under that pressure, that's impressive. Hopefully this slows them down. Nice. Probably could have got more out of them, but I was worried about my kicker. I was pretty confident he didn't have the nines there. All you have to do is watch any of my poker videos. I usually end up in the top 10. And, at some point in the tournament. How much time is it? 2 hours and 6 minutes. I don't know how long. It might cut out soon, so you'll have to watch the whatever number this video is. You'll have to watch the higher than it for the rest of the tournament. This is going to be the end of the video. So if you want to have your mind blown, go to www.change.org/technology. If you believe you have private thoughts, you don't. with technology, your thoughts could be hacked. So you need to sign a petition, share it on social media, make it go viral, and contribute some money to get it on the agenda in your country to help privatize your thoughts. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great day.